My name is Alicia Jackson. I'm a licensed professional counselor, and today we're going to talk about how to resolve the guilt that we feel when we are saying no. The guilt of setting the boundary, the feeling afterwards. It's like, I set the boundary, this hurts now. How do we deal with that? And so before we get in, you already know, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for all of those who have and who are watching regularly. Definitely appreciate it. If this video doesn't fit with you, share it with someone who you think it might will. Hey, who's to say? It won't hurt. So let's get into it. So how to resolve the guilt. There's guilt when we set the boundary, or the feeling of like, I hurt someone's feelings. I hurt them by saying no, like by saying yes to myself. The no was hurtful for them. So this is kind of like a follow-up from the series I did on boundaries. It's one that I kind of felt was like, ooh, maybe we need to talk about this a little bit. So we're gonna dig into it. Let's go. Remind yourself, one, that there is no win-win. I think sometimes there's a part of us that likes to or wants to believe that we can make everybody happy. It's possible. We could do it. It's not. There has to be some compromise. So either you're going to compromise or the other person's going to compromise, or sometimes you can meet in the middle. There are some times, but even meeting in the middle is like, it feels like you didn't get everything you wanted, right? It feels like or the person didn't get everything they want. They feel some type of way about that. Okay. And that's okay. That is okay. But there's not going to be a perfect win-win situation where all parties walk away and we're like, great, everybody got what they wanted. No. Sometimes we're going to have to concede. Sometimes we're going to have to compromise. And so we, for ourselves, have to figure out what is within our relationship with ourselves, what compromise we're okay with, and what is the boundary, right? What's the boundary? Two, I think we have to console. We have to console ourselves when the fallout happens. Or I'll say if the fallout happens. Sometimes setting the boundary is a result of someone feeling some type of way and there's some distance. And so that lets you know about the relationship. Then, like, if I said no because I wanted to be respected, then in this manner, and me being respected in this manner made you retreat from our relationship, then okay, that lets me know what you feel about this relationship or where they stand, and that's okay. I think sometimes we do have this childlike part where we want everybody to be our friend, and it's just not possible. And one, like, we logically know that we don't want everybody to be our friend. Could you imagine if everybody was our friend? Do you know how much, like, birthday parties you would have to go to, or how much money you would have to spend? That would be a very your social calendar would be off the chain. Okay, so we have to be realistic and know that not everybody's going to be happy all the time with our responses. And so to console yourself during that time, and also to remind yourself that their feelings are just as valid as yours, and give them the space that they need, and that's okay. So this kind of I'm gonna jump one. This kind of leads into my the next part, or the next thing I think we need to also remind ourselves is that you're also teaching the person. And I know that sounds a little pretentious maybe, but I'm speaking more of this like in the parent-child relationship, but teaching the person to accept no. Sometimes, especially children, have a hard time accepting that. And the earlier they accept no, they'll be likely to accept it from other people, so respect other people's boundaries, but they'll also be able to manage themselves in a work environment, be able to regulate their emotions, and be able to ride the wave of that, like the disappointment and the hurtness that, oh, I can't have the cookie, and then bringing their down, like, okay, yes, I can't have the cookie, but mom and dad still love me, versus feeling like, well, mom and dad don't love me because they didn't let me have the cookie, and being kind of rigid about that because they've gotten used to hearing yes so much that they feel like yes is love. and no isn't. Okay. So no, no is loving as well. No is protective. No, if you had a cookie every time you wanted to have a cookie, that would be a problem, right? So we have to tell ourselves no, and so we would be helping that person to accept no. Okay. And again, this is more in the parent-child relationship, but I think also for us as adults, sometimes we need to hear no. We need to hear no. We need to have the protection of no in our relationships, to know like the person needs space, or to know that, okay, not this time. We're not going to go shopping this time. That's okay. Okay, so what do I need to do for myself? And maybe checking in, like, what do I need to do for myself? Now that I'm not going to be able to hang with this person. So boundaries, accepting no, and knowing that that's okay, that no doesn't mean they don't like me, I'm not a worthy person, that no just means no. There's no extra meaning behind it. So it's like removing, so a lot of what we're doing is like removing the underlying meaning that sometimes we create in the internal script and our irrational beliefs that come out of no, and reconciling and resolving and consoling and reminding ourselves that no does not mean these things. Okay. And so it's about even examining our relationship with the word no. Like when we hear no, what do we feel they mean? What do we feel like the other person means when they say no to us? And that's what we're projecting onto other people when we don't want to say no to them. Does that make sense? So really, what is it? What is it? And so some of these that I'm listing or talking about are things that are common that people do deal with on a regular basis, who have trouble with setting boundaries. Also, releasing yourself, freeing yourself from the responsibility of other people's happiness. Could you just think about the burden of making sure everyone in your life is happy? Oh my goodness. Exhaustion comes to mind. That just sounds so confining, so restricting. You can't do what you want to do because everybody has got to be happy and carrying that responsibility. So that's not your responsibility. Now, if you're a parent, it's your responsibility to take care, clothe, feed, and raise, and relate, and teach, and mold. But it's not your responsibility to make them happy. You can provide shelter, you can provide emotional safety, you could do all the like, but it's up to your child for them, especially when they get to teenage stage and that, to make themselves happy. Now you can help them reach their goals that they have for themselves, right? But it's up to them, to your friends. It's their responsibility, not yours. I promise. Next one, you deserve the yes. The same yes that you give everybody else or that you want, you deserve it too. And as we know, saying no to someone else is like saying yes to yourself. And so you deserve that same yes that you give to everybody else. You do. And if you have to say it to yourself in order to tell someone else no, that's okay. It's really okay. You deserve to be chose. Like your wants, your needs, your goals, your desires, your life's dreams, all of that goes on the back burner because you're saying yes to everybody. Not fair. I know life isn't fair, but if there's things that are in your hand, in your power to do, to mold for you, like you have some like realm of control in this area, say no. So you can say yes to you because you deserve it. You work hard. Why not take the vacation or the day off for you? Like not the day off so that you could do stuff for other people, but like the day off for you. I'm just saying. Okay. The next one. There's going to be some discomfort, and that's okay. I think sometimes we avoid making a decision or setting a boundary because we feel like if we have some discomfort about it, then that means that it's not the right decision to make. We want to make a decision that we won't feel anything. Like there won't be any negative emotion on our side because we've made this decision. It's just not. It's not real. It's not real. It's not real. It's not reality based. It's more fantasy based. You know, our brains, again, protective. We want to protect ourselves from emotional pain. We want to protect others from emotional pain. And so there's going to be discomfort on both ends about this. You're going to maybe feel bad that you hurt someone. You're going to feel discomfort that like, oh, I said no for the first time and I don't know how they're going to take it. You know, so it's going to be some discomfort there. That's okay. Sit with it. Let it teach you something about you. Let it teach you something about the relationship. See how they respond. You know, and even comfort them. Like, I know this is new for you, but I have to say yes to me on this. You know, it's okay. Because I think sometimes the lie that we tell ourselves is that saying no means that you don't care about their feelings. And that's not true. You're saying no because you do care about their feelings. You care about the relationship. If we keep saying yes when we want to say no, resentment's it's gonna grow and it's gonna erode at the relationship. So you're saying no because I honor this relationship. I don't want to feel and harbor any feelings about you. I want us to stay good. I want us to stay in a good place. So that's why I'm saying no. And I know that this is hard for both of us, but I have to honor our relationship enough to say no. Good stuff. And the last one, but the most important one, which has kind of been in all of them, is you matter too. My goodness, you matter too. Everybody else matters except for you. Your feelings are the only ones that got to be on the back burner. You got to make sure everybody happy, having a good day, but you're stuck. No, not fair. You matter too. You're so important. You have so much value, and I'm so sorry that life has made you even feel or question your value, if that is the case. But you do. You matter too. Your feelings matter. You don't have to have the responsibility to make everyone happy, and sometimes, honestly, where we pick up kind of this people pleaser thing is out of survival. It's out of a place where, as a child, the thought of disappointing your parent or making them unhappy seemed like crushing, and so we do have this from this like childlike space, and so it seems like survival, and so there's sometimes some irrational beliefs that we carry there about saying no and disappointing other people. But know that disappointment, yes, while it can be painful and sometimes can open your eyes to the relationship or where that person is and their limitations in the relationship, it is not the end all be all. It's not the end all be all, and it's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it for you to say yes to you. It's worth it for you to say no to them. It's worth it for you to set the boundary with yourself so that you can reach the goals that you need to reach in your life, and that you don't keep doing the same thing, getting the same results, and being mad at yourself. You know what I'm saying? So join in the conversation. Let me know what's been hard for you with setting boundaries, where you have struggled, and where you're struggling to console the inner younger part of yourself, or even having some guilt. And let's continue the conversation. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel, and see you next time. Peace.